Hey everyone, Alex here, back with another video. Now in front of me, I do have an unboxing of the new MJJC Pro V3.0. Now, if you've been following the videos for a bit, I do have the foam cannon S V3.0 also from MJJC. It has a couple little scuffs and scrapes here. That being said, it's still a very good unit, okay? Now, full disclosure, MJJC did send this out to me, so thank you very much to them and the team for doing so. Now, this box in here contains a foam cannon, a bottle, the whole nine. And you're also gonna notice there's a bottle here. Now this, I unboxed off camera. This is actually the upgraded bottle because there were some issues with the original one. So have the upgraded bottle now. Now we're gonna show you the actual foam cannon itself. So I'm pretty certain now all the ones that are shipping are coming with the upgraded bottle. So a nice little unboxing experience here. Open up the flap, take away this piece of styrofoam here. Gently move that out of the way. Very nicely packaged. So inside we have a little bit of documentation here, just kind of showing you how to use the foam cannon and then also the different adapters that you can get with this. Now, the standard is kind of the 1/4 inch quick release, but you do have different ones for Karcher and then some other brands. For me, I'm only focusing on the 1/4 inch quick connect. That's all I'm worried about. So you have the bottle itself. Now, just so I don't mix these up, I'm actually just gonna leave that in here because I do have the upgraded bottle to my left. And then we have the head itself. So nice construction. I mean, weight-wise, very, very similar to the existing one, but a very, very nice unit nonetheless. So we dig a little bit deeper. We do have the little M22 type fitting to the quick connect and a couple extra O-rings. Now, I do run warmer water. Sometimes that can affect O-rings. It really shouldn't. It's not hot, but you know, most people are just running cold. So I'm gonna leave the O-rings in here just for spares. And then we also have a little baggie in here as well with the pickup tube and then some different orifices. Now, depending on the pressure washer that you're using, you may need a 1.1 if it's a lower GPM. I have the new AR630 V2, so that thing's pushing out a ton of water. So I'm gonna have probably 1.25, even a 1.5 is probably gonna be ideal. But right now, let me actually look. I did put the adapter on. I'm just gonna pop that off real quick. So I wanna see if there's actually an orifice inside. So I don't know if there is. There is. So there is a 1.25. It is clearly marked. And then inside, there is a 1.35, and then there's also a 1.1. So we're gonna pause the video here for a sec. I'm actually gonna put the 1.35 in here just to not overwork my machine, but the 1.25 is gonna be plenty. So you get 3 orifices in here, you guys, okay? You get a 1.35, 1.25, 1.1, depending on the situation that you're in. So I'm gonna go grab a screwdriver and pop this out. Okay, so we're back. So now to remove the orifice, when you don't have a connector on here, it's just a little flathead screwdriver. It's not gonna be overly tight, okay? So pop that out, let that fall. Then we're gonna open up this baggie here, and while we're doing that, we're also gonna install the pickup tube. So you got the tube here, and also some filter mesh, some mesh filters, sorry. So we got the 135 here. I believe there's already a filter installed. Let me just double check the bag just to see what it says. So spare mesh filter, no need to use until your foam lance is stuck. So if you are getting any contamination or it's not working quite well, do check the filter, which is actually just inside a little bit more. So we're just gonna go ahead and take the 1.35 orifice. We just drop it in, okay? It only goes in one way. It is threaded. So kind of let that sit in the opening. And again, don't over tighten it because what that orifice is that's basically the direction of the water when it's going through the foam cannon. The water and foam mixture is basically just going through that smaller opening. So the smaller the opening, the better foam you're gonna be getting if you have a smaller GPM pressure washer. So I just kind of started that with my finger. I do have kind of a small flathead, so it's not, there we go. Okay, so that's all threaded in there, nice and tight. So again, a 1.35 is a little bit better for my application. Yours might be a little bit different. And the nice thing with this little Ziploc baggie, set that to the side, put it back in the box. And then the pickup tube, right here, there's a little steel nipple. So then you grab the female end of that tube and just slide it over. So obviously, if you're using the foam cannon and there's nothing being picked up, do check the tube. to make sure it's in there. You don't need any kind of clips or anything to actually hold the tube in place. The friction alone is like, I could hang it and it's fine, right? So there's a lot of grip there. Now with the weighted ball, that does help depending on where you're sitting the bottle. Now, the bottle itself is fairly translucent, so it does have the indicators on the backside. This one obviously is fully clear, so some might be a little bit better. But that being said, slap that on there, same idea, quarter turn. Now we're gonna throw our adapter on. So this is the one for me. Again, just a basic 1/4 inch quick connect here. And then on the top, you do have this valve. Now, if you like to full send, might as well crank that bad boy all the way. So this is backed off all the way here. So this is gonna allow the most amount of water through and not so much air and water. But, and you crank it all the way to the right, and that's gonna be the full shebang, okay? So then on the front, you know, you do have your fan adjustment here. So that does open your kind of pattern. And then you can also turn it 90 degrees. Actually, a little bit more than that, honestly. You can kind of free flow that. So if you want a vertical piece, or I'm sorry, a horizontal foam pattern or vertical, you have that option. So I like to go vertical myself. Open that bad boy up a little bit. We'll know a little bit when we foam a car here in a second. So depending on how you put it in there, you can kind of sit the quick connect just like that. So the nice thing with this is that the base is a touch wider. So like it's not gonna topple over. This one's pretty good. And even with liquid, it's gonna be even better. So just for a quick demo, I am gonna do a 10:1 dilution of a Decon soap. The one I'm using is actually Armour Detail Supply. So I do have about 1 liter of water here. Now I'm gonna go about 900 mils of water and then 190-ish mils of soap to bring us to a 10:1. So we're gonna fill that up and I'm gonna let you know if I can actually see. So it's just gonna be the mark right under the 1,000 milliliter because the capacity of this is actually 1,200 mils, which is a lot. So honestly, you don't need that much for like a small sedan, but if you wanna go full foam, go nuts. If you wanna leave it in here, honestly, I don't know how this is gonna react to higher alkaline chemicals. Some people like to use wheel cleaners in their foam cannons. I mean, this is a slightly higher pH than neutral, but that being said, it's gonna be just fine for this. So I'm actually just gonna double check here real quick. Not seeing it on there, but either which way, you're gonna be totally fine. So my 900 mil marker, now depending on how you're holding it, you can, I know it's hard on camera, but you can actually see it. And I'm gonna put in about 90 mils of soap here because 90 mils is kind of the sweet spot for that. There we go. Pour that in there. And the nice thing with the weighted ball too is that kind of acts as a storing mechanism. I'm actually just gonna put the little bit of leftover water here just to get that once I missed the foam cannon entirely. So we'll set that to the side. And then we're gonna go ahead and get foaming here. So stay tuned. All right, so I don't know if I had bad luck with Decon or what, but my Decon was not foaming very good, but I do have some ADS Shampoo Plus in here. Have about 60 mils of the shampoo to about 500-ish mils of water. And we're gonna go ahead and foam this bad boy on. Alrighty, so we're gonna let that sit for a sec and I'll show you the dwell time. So that's much better foam compared to my Decon. Whoops. So bad luck, whatever. But yeah, if you do have a proper dilution, this is gonna work great. So we're gonna go ahead and head back in the garage and give you my final thoughts. All right, so that's a quick overview of the new MJJC Pro version 3 foam cannon, okay? So it is definitely an upgrade over the S3.0, which this is still a great foam cannon if you already have this. Now, that being said, I do appreciate the wider base. It's a lot less likely to fall over. This one here, I do like the clear bottle, but this one is not hard to read whatsoever. Again, we do have the raised indentations for the measurements, and once you get your dilution figured out, it foams beautifully with my 1.35 orifice on my 2.3 GPM AR630 V2. That being said, if you are using a lower PSI / lower GPM pressure washer, something like a lower end kind of big box store unit, you are gonna wanna run the 1.1 or the 1.25 if you're not getting the foam you like. Again, adjust your dilutions, play around a little bit, have fun. This is all about having fun while cleaning your vehicle, okay? So again, nice grip here to kind of hold that on, and the larger capacity is greater for if you're doing large vehicles or multiple vehicles at once. Definitely an improvement there. I do like the build quality. You know, there's a lot less brass on this one, and depending on the hardness of your water, can make a difference. You know, I do like the, you know, it is certainly tactile for the actual adjustments here. Again, the top knob, we're gonna be sending it full. I'm not gonna be messing with that a lot. And then your fan pattern, depending on the vehicle you have, your mileage may vary. So I do appreciate you tuning in. Drop a like and a comment if you have any questions about any of these products, and you'll be sure to see this in many more videos. And consider subscribing if that's what you're into, and have an awesome day. We'll catch you in the next one.